Hey everybody, and welcome back. Really excited to be with you all today because there are a number of different updates that have come to the flight simulator community, and also a number of updates that have also happened to developer support for FSX Steam Edition. Today we're going to be taking a quick flight from KPSP out to KTNP. We're also known as Palm Springs International Airport over to 29 Palms. And while we're on the way there, we're going to talk about some of those updates, as well as talk about one immediately right here. So let's go ahead and jump on in. First of all, the first major update for FSX Steam Edition, along with P3D version 2.5, is what you can see right here. Orbx has updated their library installers to include Objectflow.dll for FSX Steam Edition. This is huge because a lot of Orbx airports, along with sceneries, have everything from custom static vehicles to various ground scenery or ground vehicle animations to scenery animations such as this one that you see here, which is people flow, which adds a sense of immersion to a lot of their airports and sceneries that has been up until this point unavailable in FSX Steam Edition. Finally, those libraries have been updated, and as you can see here, they're fully functioning and really make the immersion, especially at some smaller airports where you have an opportunity to get a little bit closer to some of the people flow animations, has really added a new level of immersion to those airports and those sceneries. So looking forward to seeing these and some of my other Orbx sceneries and airports, and hope you guys enjoy it as well. So let's go ahead and head on over to our terminal here at KPSP, and we'll get ready to start our flight over to KTNP. So let's go ahead and head on over here. You can see some more people flow animations as we're walking on over. Alright, and let's go ahead and get on into our plane, and then we'll talk about the rest of the updates on the way there. So here we are in our Realair Duke Turbine V2, and we're sitting right outside of the repair terminal at KPSP. We just got our aircraft service, and we're going to go ahead and head on over to KTNP right here before the sun sets. As you guys can see, the absolute beautiful mountains that border the Banning Pass is right in front of us. And it'll be a really beautiful evening for our departure. Now, the first update I wanted to talk about with all of you that has been something that I've been waiting for a really long time. In fact, from the moment FSX Steam Edition got released, I've been waiting for this one, is none other than Active Sky Next. So now Active Sky Next Service Pack 2, which is currently in beta, has been released for anyone who owns the product. And I'll tell you that even as you look at the airport that we're at right now, you can see there's this very realistic haze-looking layer. The cloud coverage looks absolutely convincing, and it's just absolutely beautiful the way that Active Sky renders with high fidelities of accuracy weather in FSX, P3D, and also FSX Steam Edition. Now, Service Pack 2 also does add compatibility with P3D version 2.5. And I'll tell you that if you do not own Active Sky as of yet, this is a must-buy. This is something you must go out and get immediately because it's a complete game changer. It adds everything from wing fade effects as you fly through clouds to realistic turbulence simulations to even jet wash, which is the effect of the vortices that are trailing off of the wings and the engines of larger aircraft that you own that can push you into the ground or can flip you around. If you've ever seen the movie Top Gun, they call it jet wash. Same thing. It's turbulent air that's created by either the leading edges of larger aircraft or by engines. And it just adds just amazing amounts of immersion, realistic icing effects, you name it. So go out there and get this right now. So happy it's finally compatible with FSX Steam Edition, and we'll be using it today as we're out flying out and about. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy started up, and then we'll talk about the rest of the updates. So we'll go ahead and switch on our batteries first, and put on our beacons and our strobes. I'm sorry, a beacon on our nav lights, and then we'll go ahead and start up our engine. We'll start with our left engine. And we'll go on over to our right. See the aircraft just shake a little bit as those engines are starting up. Alright, we'll go ahead and put on our inverters. Let's start our comms on up, even though we're not going to be using HEC today. And we'll go ahead and program our autopilot for 6,500 feet as we'll be flying VFR. And we'll set a climb of 2,000. Let's go ahead and program our route to KTNP. And we'll put GPS on. Alright, flaps come down. Let's check the weather real quickly, where we are. And you can do this in ASN while inside of the simulator. So it looks like right now we're at 28 degrees Celsius, dew point -1 Celsius. Altimeter's 2.9 or 9.5, which we'll set now. Alright, she's all set. And looks good, clear skies. I just want to check one other thing here. Just going to check our onboard outside air temperature. Looks like it's spot on, around 85 degrees Fahrenheit or so. Let's open up our old doors until we catch some speed to cool down the engines. Alright, looks good to me. And let's go ahead and get our taxi lights on. And we'll get the party started. Alright, here we are at 31 right. We'll check for traffic real quick. And we'll go ahead and take the runway. It's landing lights and strobes come on, taxi lights come off. And here we are, nice and lined up. And flaps are down, lights are on. And we are good to go. So we'll go ahead and throttle her on up. We are at 100 knots. We'll go ahead and rotate. And we got a positive rate. We'll go gear up. Oh, smacked by some turbulence there. That's active sky next for us. You can see how violent that was. It may have actually been, we'll go flaps up. That may have actually been some wake turbulence from another aircraft. 100% sure. I don't see any other aircraft around here, but it could have been a departing one. Anyways, let's go ahead and start our turn here. I mean, just look at the evening sky out here. I mean, completely convincing. Absolutely beautiful. Horizon, haze. It's the most accurate and beautiful rendition of weather that you can get in Flight Simulator. I mean, considering that it's a relatively hazy day here in Southern California, along with a warm, dry day out in Palm Springs. I mean, you even get that realistic kind of desert haze going on. It's just the finest weather simulation you can get in Flight Simulator. I absolutely love Active Sky Next. Just look at that. I honestly don't think it can get any better. Beautiful. Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump on in, and we'll look at some of the other updates that are out there. The first one is Pete Dawson, right before he went on vacation, actually updated FSUIPC for his paid users. And you know, I think that it's very important to recognize that he made a pretty significant update for the Flight Simulator community right before he went on vacation. One of the reasons why is because his new FSUIPC not only supports P3D version 2.5, but also has implemented his old famous fix for the G3D.dll crash that used to happen in the old FSX. He's now been able to capture that crash in FSX Steam Edition as well, which has really made the simulator, or has the ability to make the simulator far more stable for a lot of users that have been dealing with some various crashes that have kind of plagued the FSX community for the last 8 years or so. So if you are a paid user of FSUIPC, go out there and get the updated module now. It will make your FSX Steam Edition more stable, and if you use P3D version 2.5, obviously it gives you all the benefits of FSUIPC for P3D users as well. The other one I wanted to talk about, the other big update that I wanted to talk about that I did not get to mention in my previous video, is actually the Aerosoft Airbus SP3 is under development, and it has a number of updates, but probably the most significant update of all is the fact that Aerosoft is actually going to be implementing a shared cockpit feature, or what they call connected flight deck, for the Airbus users. Now this is really big, because this will make the Airbus the first major tube liner to have a dual crew or shared cockpit capability for its users. Obviously the PMDG aircraft don't have this capability yet. The Majestic Dash 8 does have this feature in alpha or beta or something like that, but still has not been released after almost a year and a half or so of testing. But the Service Pack 3 is supposed to be coming out here within the next month, and really exciting, especially for your Airbus users out there, to know that you'll be able to fly with other pilots who enjoy the Airbus, and maybe some other folks in your virtual airline who fly the Airbus as well. And instead of having to use FS to crew or any of these other artificial dual crew enhancement packages, you'll be able to actually fly with another human being in your aircraft. So really exciting. I know I'm looking forward to it. I'm not even that much of an Airbus flyer, but I'm going to get more proficient in it, and when it's released, I'll be sure to be flying with some folks in my virtual airline over at Virtual United, and we'll be doing it together. I also want to show you guys a quick picture of what it looks like. I know that the Aerosoft CEO showed a picture of it, of what the CDU will look like. Let me see if I got it here. It's on one of these other pages. I may have missed it. Anyways, but basically it'll be accessible through the CDU. So you'll be using. Oh, here we go. So you'll be using the CDU to select connected flight deck, You'll be able to select the connection type, and sync display, sync weather, etc. So it'll be interesting once it finally comes out to see how it's implemented and how it works, and definitely very, very exciting. So look forward to that here very, very soon. And we're heading up to KTNP now, so I'm actually gonna get us ready to shoot our approach here. And let's just look at that sky one more time, man. I mean, absolutely stunning with active Skynex. So I cannot be happier. I mean, extremely convincing weather. Completely transforms your simulator. Smooth cloud transition, so you don't see clouds popping if you've entered a flight plan into active Skynex. Realistic haze layers, amazing thunderstorms, hurricanes, and also with the PMDG 737 and the new PMDG 737 update that's coming out that'll have weather radar. This is the only program that works with the weather radar on the PMDG aircraft. So without a doubt, exciting. Alright, as soon as we cross over this hill, we're going to be here at KTNP. So I guess right now would be a good time to check the weather and figure out which runway we're going to take. So looks like right now winds are 171 at 4 knots. So I actually believe there's a runway 17 at KTNP. If my memory serves me correctly, let's take a look. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's see, nearest airport, KTNP. Yeah, there's a runway 17. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll get closer to the pattern. I actually think around this time, especially with how dry it is, sometimes you get sandstorms, so it'll be really cool to be able to land into this sandstorm. And if so, that means we'll be taking tailwind or land at runway 17. But if there's not a sandstorm going on right now, then we'll go ahead and swing around in the traffic pattern and land opposite. So let's take a look. We'll get a little bit closer in. Yeah, it does look like there's a sandstorm, so we're going to go ahead and take runway 17, and we'll announce a full stop. We're not even going to enter the traffic pattern completely for 17. We're just going to go ahead and shoot a base to final. And you can really see that sandstorm down there just starting to build right in front of the runway. You guys see that? Yeah. So that'll be kind of fun to land into it. I know you're not supposed to land with a tailwind, but it's always nice to have fun. So let's start slowing down here, reduce our speed, and we're gonna be a little bit narrow of a regular base. Is going to be entering the pattern, this abbreviated pattern at 45. Before we head on into final, it will be a narrow final. Bring our gear on down to slow ourselves down so we can start a little bit of a steep approach. And, give ourselves a notch of flaps here. Just attempt to slow down a little bit more. Widen up our base here just a little bit. Yeah, we're going to dump ourselves right in the middle of that sandstorm. This kind of tailwind, we want to land right on the edge of our stall speed, because obviously tailwind can push you on down the runway if you're not careful. So I'm going to try to put this thing down as close to the numbers as I can, and then like you would do with a smaller aircraft, I'm going to try to stall it so we don't find ourselves floating too far down the runway. That tailwind behind us. Look at that dust storm, man, that's so cool. In real life, you would not want to fly into a dust storm like that with these big old turbine engines, but it can't hurt us here. And the sandstorm is not a active sky next effect. It is part of KTNP, so no matter what weather engine you're using, you can see the sandstorm if you own 29 Palms KTNP. Alright, so here we go. It's going to be a little bit rougher as we're coming on in here. I'm going to bring us in right. Try to bring us in right on the numbers. Right on our stall speed. Alright, we got a red and a white. Push around just a little bit. Put her firmly on down here. Pull us back. Slow ourselves down. Go. Ah, nice. Pretty much right on the center line too. So throw ourselves into beta. And there we go. So anyways, thanks guys for joining once again. Look forward to the 737 update that should be coming here relatively soon. That'll probably be my next video. And everybody go out there and get Active Sky Next if you don't already own it. So thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I'll see you guys soon.